Now will we see the magic?
All right, where's Murray? Okay, who is it?
This is Jesus, kid.
Know then that it is the year 10,191.
Yes, we are bored. We're all bored now.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Hello and welcome to Mary vs. the Movies with your host, Mary Jones.
Dennis Link.
Are you doing like a Joe Friday thing?
No.
Then what are you doing?
Just saying my name.
Oh, God.
In a normal way, like I always do.
Like you always do?
Yeah.
Always do.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I'm just going to go right past whatever nonsense you're doing this week.
All right.
Because you're always doing nonsense.
No.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Check the tape.
God, no. Check the tape. As much as I appreciate your commitment to analog formats, I don't think any of this is on tape, which is a shame.
I do have a 4-track downstairs if you want to just record this on the 4-track.
God.
We could play it backwards.
Oh, you know what? That would be great, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of would love that.
Don't play that backwards. It'll open up a portal.
To what?
The China Syndrome.
The China Syndrome?
That's the movie we're doing, right?
No, we're not doing
Lemmon and the
no.
China Syndrome?
We ought to do that at some point.
Yeah.
But this is not the China Syndrome. We are doing a movie called Missing. Which,
Ooh.
yeah, do you know it?
No.
Obviously, I know it enough that I picked it.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly because I was looking up movies about the United States and messing around with Latin America.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Fun.
I'm on a kick. You know, last week we did Walker.
Yeah.
And that was about us screwing around with the Nicaragua. And now we're going to do a movie called Missing, which is about a man whose son, who is a journalist, goes missing in, was it Chile?
I think Chile, yeah.
Chile, yeah, that's Pinochet.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 72, the United States fomented a coup against Salvador Allende, who was the democratically elected president of Chile, and promoted the military junta of Augusto Pinochet, who ruled until, like, what, the 90s? Something like that. And it was all, death squads. No, it's not good.
No.
Not good at all. And, who was behind it? The CIA.
It was always like it's just, wackos coming up with that. And then the CIA, open up their files. It's like, oh, no, we did that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was us.
The only thing that made Pinochet finally step down is because he suddenly got a sense of, oh, I might go to hell for all the things I've done. No, that's true.
Wow.
Yeah. He basically, stepped down and said, I think I got to go to confession, and did. Huh. And so he was basically just stopped, all of that, because just I guess I'm the bad guy. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, thanks, I guess. That's one way to do it.
That's so 20th century. A conscience. What's those?
Yeah, absolutely bizarre way to end a dictatorship, but there you go.
I guess there's a limit.
Pope Leo, if you're listening, if we can get an entire cabinet to convert. Meanwhile, there's J.D. Vance, an actual convert, just going around basically, actually, the Pope is wrong about everything, and I'm right. And I'm like, what kind of Catholic are you?
You killed him.
You killed the last guy.
I know.
Do not go near this one.
Yeah.
And I'm not even, I'm an ex-Catholic. I don't, why am I even talking about whatever? The point is, we're watching a movie called Missing.
Yep.
And I honestly, I don't know much about this movie. I know my mom said it's very good, though. And it has Jack Lemmon.
Yeah.
And Jack Lemmon, I think, is almost always compelling on screen. I can't think of any time where I've not found him watchable, even in a movie that is as dumb as The Great Race. Do you know The Great Race?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's a Blake Edwards comedy. And, I mean, it's fine, whatever. Jack Lemmon's doing a lot of acting in that one, and that's okay.
Did you see, what's the famous coffees for closers?
Glengarry Glen Ross?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I can't bring myself to watch Glengarry Glen Ross for a couple reasons. One, I really like Jack Lemmon as an actor. I know this is kind of a tour de force for him. And the scenes that I've seen with him are just so, like, you're getting up into, like, Death of a Salesman territory.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just don't know that I can put myself through that. Like, that's part one. Part two, I understand Mamet was a great writer.
Yeah.
It's so dude heavy.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just basically about guys being terrible. It's a bit like, I don't want to watch a Neil LaBute movie. I feel the same way kind of about a David Mamet work, even though, like, I respect Mamet more as an artist.
Sure. So we've done a couple movies set in Latin America. I don't think we've done anything that isn't Americans going around and messing with Latin America.
Dennis, are you familiar with the history of the Americas?
I know. That's all we do.
It is.
But I'm just thinking back on what we've done. So we've done Boys of Brazil.
Yeah.
We did Vibes.
Yeah. Yep.
Did we do Romancing the Stone?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that.
Fitzcarraldo. Because that character is technically American.
Oh, he is?
That's right. Yes, I know. It's a German film, and he's played by a German.
Yeah.
But the character Fitzcarraldo is Irish American.
Oh,
he don't sound like it.
No, he sure don't.
Nobody in that film does. But yes.
Yeah.
And what else have we done? We
did Burden of Dreams, which is the making of that, which is definitely, I guess, more German
Europeans screwing around. No,
idiots.
Nowhere near as bad,
Yeah.
I think, as the actual things. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to come up with a movie that is about Latin America that is not involving, in terms of films that we've covered.
Yeah,
you know, like there's absolutely films.
I'm just saying, I feel like we have a gap there that we should fill at some point.
Oh, no, I completely agree. And like, you know, there's like, we haven't even like gotten into like Mexican cinema, and I don't know why. That's a very rich territory for us to mine, and we need to really get into. And at some point we will. Oddly enough, one of the films we covered, Three Amigos, the bad guy in that film is played by a famous Mexican director. So, and it's funny, the more time goes on, when I think back about how cynical I was in the early days of our show, and I would watch something like The Three Amigos, and I'd be like, here we have all these white people who are acting as the savior. And now I would think back, I'm like, that's such like a gentle comedy compared to everything else we've watched. And I'm like, I kind of want to just go back and watch Three Amigos. Oh, it's so relaxing.
Yeah, those are nice guys compared to Walker.
Yeah, well, it is, It's like, oh, this is such a nicer version of Americans screwing around in Latin America.
At least they're the butt of the jokes.
So yeah, this movie, I don't really know much more about it, except that Jack Lemmon is trying to find out what happened to his son, who is a journalist who was abducted somewhere in Chile, disappeared. A lot of people were disappeared back then, man.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid listening to AM radio. And
that was your first mistake.
Yeah, but so they would have like stories. That's where I heard Hitchhiker's Guide. Star Wars was on there on NPR.
Right.
So I
radio used to be more interesting.
Yeah, I think that's how I got started. Star Wars is on, so I'm gonna listen to everything that's on the radio from now on until more Star Wars comes on. And I had never heard it again. There was one story that was Argentina, and it was about a father disappearing, and they never find out what happened to him, and it was terrifying. And so I'm listening to the story. Oh, this is a scary story, here. This is and then it ends with like, oh, this is really happening, by the way, right now.
Oh man,
it's like
yeah.
And so now it's happening now here. That's yeah. And then there's people commenting on Facebook saying "yay," and I'm like,
"Oh, Dennis, don't look at Facebook. It's so depressing."
I know.
Yeah, and I don't think we're talking about people that we're friends with, but you go into say local community groups, and all of a sudden it's just you're finding out that half the town you live in is monsters.
Well, that's the thing though, because it's Facebook, it amplifies like anything for engagement. So
Sure.
There are a lot of I'll see a lot of comments, and I'll click on the who they are, and it says digital creator, and it's like, yeah, it's just engagement farming.
We usually would do our questions I don't know, man. This feels like too heavy a subject for our dumb questions, doesn't it?
But it is a movie, so we
is a movie.
We
All
gotta
right,
deal with
all
a
right.
movie. Is
Sure.
there a dog?
Oh, is there a dog? I bet there's a dog that's a bad dog.
I don't remember a dog in Walker.
You know, like no, there wasn't a dog.
Yeah. So
Maybe there's like an evil dog that attacks people. Because I'm just thinking, like, we watched multiple short film subjects about dealing with like the dictatorship in Chile. If you remember, like the short animated subjects, and one of them was that lady and her dog, and she used yes,
oh no,
yeah. This is again Chile.
Oh no,
yeah.
Oh no,
that was a rough one.
That was really rough.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you get into like the Academy nominated short animated things,
yeah,
it's like you'll see. South America or Poland, you're like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be a good time.
Bring in the whimsical British one, please.
Yeah. Can we please just have like an Aardman Studios or something? I'm emotionally drained from watching, this 20-minute animated stop motion puppets about a woman who tortures people and the dog that she. Never mind. You don't want to know.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So is there a dog? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Love triangle.
No.
You don't think so?
No. What? Where would there be a love triangle?
So Jack Lemmon is the father
yes.
of the and he's trying to get answers and
about the disappearance of his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he enters the love triangle.
Where?
Angry dad can be president.
Or maybe Jack Lemmon's very angry about the disappearance of his son. I realize that normally when we say angry dad, we mean him as an antagonist, but I think in this time we have some righteous anger.
Righteous anger, yeah.
Yeah.
We could definitely see him doing that.
Yeah.
As you can in the China Syndrome. We see that.
Well, we'll have to see that someday.
Let's see. Cool car. Probably
No.
No. Do you think there's a death?
Do I think there's a death? You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yeah, there's probably at least one death in this.
Spoiler alert.
Uh-huh.
Do you think it starts with the death or it starts with...
Well, I don't know if I assume the son has died, but I don't know what it starts with.
Do you know anyone else that's in it?
Nope.
So we don't know anything.
I don't know anything.
Okay.
Going in blind. No, mostly blind.
What percentage of the film is in Chile? And what percentage?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll bet you like 90% of it is in the United States.
Okay.
Just because he's trying to figure out what happened and can't even go there. Anything else?
No, not that I can think of. Yeah, this is
A little heavy.
Yep.
A little heavy. Are you ready to watch something a little heavy?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
The Western Hemisphere and all inside, we know is murdering innocent. They are children playing with guns. They are children playing with countries. Mining harbors, creating countries. The games they play.
We gotta start doing some comedies, man.
That's what your mom said.
I know. This is getting grim. I mean, don't get me wrong. Walker was fun, and Missing is a good movie, but I am just
this is almost
done.
like Day After style, where it's just like unrelenting, like bad news.
And look, I get it. It's very easy as a bourgeois American white cis whatever, like
it's the American lifestyle,
like it's
a way of life, as you said.
So it's very easy for me to say like, oh, this is so grim, I'm tired of watching this. Ugh, this is just like too hard to do. I gotta watch something funny. Yeah, I know. So like, yeah, shut up, Mary. But at the same time, dude, this is
the news.
This is a movie podcast. This is not Left Anchor or This Is Hell or whatever, far left podcast you want to listen to. I'm exhausted. I don't even know if Left Anchor is even that far left, but whatever. Good movie. Bummer.
Well, just get this out of the way. No dog.
No dog.
No dog. I think, what is it? Jack Lemmon at one point thinks there's a love triangle, but there
is
isn't.
not. No. No. Yeah, because his son is very good friends and works with this other woman this woman who's a reporter.
A woman.
I know, terrible. He assumes that there's like an affair going on or some sort of living arrangement, and that's not what's going on.
Yeah.
Is there an angry dad? Yeah, Jack Lemmon's an angry dad. First, he's angry at his son.
Yeah.
Who's disappeared. But then he's angry at the United States military government and the CIA and whatever, everybody.
Yeah.
He's angry at everybody and with good reason. And is there a death?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, whole stadium's full of dead people.
Yeah.
Because, of course, this is set in Chile in 1973 after the coup that started on September 11th, for those of you who don't know.
Or is it?
Well, they don't say it's the country of Chile.
Yeah, it could be anywhere.
But it's not anywhere. We know where it is because they tell you exactly they tell you when it is happening.
Yeah.
They don't tell you what country they're in. I guess because they wanted to minimize being sued, and yet they were still sued.
Yeah, I think they say for the protection of the innocent and the movie.
Yeah.
In the beginning, yeah.
Because it's not like they didn't change the protagonists' names.
Now, do you think maybe it got edited later to remove that stuff?
What?
Like after it was re-released?
What? It got edited to remove...
to remove, like, say, Chile,
I don't... No. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if people just sort of already knew.
Yeah.
If you were going to seek this movie out, I'll say that, too. I won't say that a movie like this wouldn't be made now. Maybe I should say I don't trust that a movie this good at what it's doing would be made now and be a mainstream film with an actor as big as Jack Lemmon. On the other hand, I don't know that we have actors as big as Jack Lemmon now.
Yeah.
Clooney, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess Clooney would try to make something like this.
I was thinking about Jack Lemmon in this, and I was thinking that he's kind of like the Spencer Tracy of this.
Yeah.
And how, like, Spencer Tracy and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is like, here's, the typical American white male surrogate to, like, navigate what's actually going on,
The 50-year-old man who decided to go see something that isn't Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or whatever. What year did this come out? 82? So...
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. The point being, they don't want to see a blockbuster. They want to see a movie for adults, right? I know I keep coming back to this idea of movies for adults.
People are watching this after Kramer versus Kramer.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of. I don't want to say... It's like maybe the last gasp of the 70s paranoid thriller. Part of that goes back to the director of this was his name, Costa-Gavras. He made Z in like the late 60s, and that kind of gave birth to the political thriller as we know it.
Well, I wonder if Boys from Brazil was kind of made to...
Well, no, Boys from Brazil, wasn't that 79?
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
I think that was before this.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, I mean, that's okay. I get why you kind of went there.
Yeah.
Because even though that is a science fiction film, science fiction in the Twilight Zone vein, I guess, or in the, this is... science because it's like, they're doing cloning, but otherwise it's more grounded than, spaceships and lasers. But it's still dealing with the fact that, hey, Latin America was very friendly to Nazis and other fascists. And a lot of that is because also the United States was okay with that and even supported it. And that's how you end up with somebody like Pinochet having a coup and overthrowing Salvador Allende and, murdering thousands, maybe millions of people in the process.
Or maybe the leftists did it to make him look bad.
I do love when they have like that theory coming, and I love, of course, it's like our own government is saying, well, no, it's probably like some leftist guerrillas killed him.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't they do that? They're the evil ones.
And in the background, there's a smiling picture of Nixon.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Just looking down on everything like an evil god. This is based on a true story. There was an American journalist who was down there with other Americans.
Now, he does have a picture of Che Guevara. His story is that he's a kids writer.
That's baloney, obviously.
What?
Come on, man.
No.
I mean, he may be doing that on the side.
That's his job.
Uh-huh. So, no, he's obviously like a left-wing journalist, and he has a number of friends down there who he's working with. What I like about the film is how it takes you through the coup as it's ongoing. We start in like the early days of this coup. And so people are still going to restaurants. Flights are still taking off at the airport. You know, there's still tourists around. The hotels are open. And you're going to be sitting there drinking like your latte. And then all of a sudden, you know, a truck with a bunch of goons in it roll by and starts shooting at the people across the street from you.
At the beginning of the movie is just when the airport closes and things are getting very bad very fast. So it's following Charles and Terry initially.
Terry is the woman, the other reporter that he works with.
Yeah. And they're like struggling to get back. Like they take a ride somewhere, and they have him drop him off at the hotel because he just don't want to tell the driver where he lives.
Now, was that driver, remind me, isn't he the guy who turns out to be some sort of, you know, CIA ops guy, or is that somebody else?
I don't know. I know he was,
because that guy's floating through the background throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, there's a couple characters that it's a little hard. Like I kind of missed something.
Here's the thing: I don't know if we have to actually understand exactly what they're doing, because the idea is there's just a bunch of spooks down there.
Yeah,
and they are fomenting the coup.
Or naval engineers.
Oh yes, yeah. Who's on his way to Bolivia, a landlocked country? Yeah.
There is a lake.
Okay.
They get off at this hotel and they end up staying there, I think.
Yeah.
And then in the morning they're trying to get to Beth. It turns out Beth is his wife. It's kind of showing you that, like, kind of half showing you this story, because it keeps switching perspective between like how they're getting home. They all keep getting separated to go, you know, to
well, because every time you leave the house, you know, you don't know if you're going to be able to get back to your house or not, because, you know, again, there are military at this point wandering the streets with guns and shooting people or arresting them or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because the film kind of plays with the timeline a little bit. So you'll start seeing something happening, then realize, oh, this is a flashback to something that's earlier, and you'll realize, oh, somebody is narrating this as it happens. You'll have this kind of like double vocal where, you know, a character is saying lines underneath the person describing it.
I really like that, because eventually it becomes, you're not even sure if it's what's happening is happening. You know? Yeah.
Well, I guess there is a little bit of, we're assuming that the story as it's being narrated to us is what happened, you know, and then we're taking it all on faith that, you know, the story, if whether Beth is telling it or whoever, you know, that this is what happened.
But at one point there's two characters remembering something differently, and the images keep changing in front of you as they keep remembering it.
Which scene are you talking of?
The scene where the old woman and the old guy are remembering him being arrested.
Yeah.
And they're saying, oh, he was taken to a military truck. No, it was just a civilian truck.
That's a great scene.
Yeah. Because
we're doing this all on people remembering things, to have a scene like that in there to kind of remind you, by the way, we weren't there for this. We don't actually know exactly what happened. This is all a reconstruction. I think it's really nice and smart that the film does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But so the first part is just, you know, like Charlie, Terry, and Beth. And it ends with Beth missing the bus, and she ends up spending the night trying to get home. She ends up hiding in an alcove, like under a plant. And at one point she's woken up by a white horse running around in the night, and like guys just shooting randomly. Yeah.
But yeah, basically she can't get home. But so in the next morning, when she is able to finally get into the house, the apartment has been ransacked. Yeah. Absolutely turnover, and Charlie's missing, and that's where the movie, it doesn't so much start, but the real story starts.
Yeah.
Right? You know, Charlie has gone missing, and so now his father comes into the picture.
But what I like, so the father is talking to senators.
The father, of course, is Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon.
Ed.
At first, he seems to be the same as the others. He just wants to know what's happening to his son. Mm-hmm. But then when he flies down to Chile, or flies down to blank, and meets with Beth, it's slowly you begin to realize, oh, he's this conservative guy, and he's like, oh, these no good kids of mine. Like once I get Charlie, I'm gonna grab him by his ear and give him a telling to.
Yeah, it's a real, you no good hippie kids. What is, you know, why couldn't you just live a normal life in the suburbs like the rest of us? What is wrong with you?
Ever since you met Meathead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, in a way, he is, you know, he is just like a better groomed Archie Bunker in that sense. Yeah.
But he's also a New York businessman,
right?
So he has some cachet because he's a Christian Scientist. Like, I guess I don't know. This is their people.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays I think it's Mormons, but maybe
Yeah.
back then they were all Christian Scientists. I don't know. So then a lot of the film is him thinking at first that the U.S. government is going to find his son and figure out what happened to his boy, because he believes in the United States. He believes in America and the promise of America. And he believes that the United States government is there to protect all of its citizens, even the dumb pinko commies like my son. And it turns out, of course, that the United States government says, no, we've had him killed.
No. The United States government doesn't say that, but they mean that.
Yes. And they mean it because who is playing the chief guy that they keep interacting with but David Clennon, who is at his most oiliest in this.
Yeah.
He's great. I think a lot of people remember him mostly from The Thing, where he's one of the guys who becomes the Thing. But I
never
know
trust a thing.
No, absolutely not. Obviously. If he had known that this guy became the Thing, he would know not to trust him.
I know.
But I know him best actually from the show 30-something.
Oh, God.
I know. But the character he plays on that, Miles Drantel, he's the evil boss.
Isn't Terry in that show, too?
Oh my God, yes, actually she is. You know what? I didn't even recognize her. She plays Melissa on there, who is like the cousin. Never mind, you don't need to know about the show 30-something,
No, I
but
don't.
she's absolutely on it as well. And I kind of didn't even realize that was her. But yeah, so actually there's 2/3. Oh my God, I don't know. Did Ed Zwick and what's his name write this? I don't know. I don't think so. But it totally would fit like kind of the ex-hippie sort of idealists who have gone to seed type thing. But anyway, yeah, so he's a very oily, what do they call him? A consul.
Yeah.
Right, because he works for the consulate.
Yeah.
And
you know what? The vibes with him and reminds me of that scene with Milhouse's dad, where like so you fire me into saying good luck. He's like, I don't remember saying good luck.
He's basically like the go-between with the rest of the government, although there's other guys involved. And so a lot of this film is them tracking down what exactly happened. And like we said, it's told in a lot of flashbacks and a lot of hearsay. And, they're constantly holding out hope that maybe he's still alive. We go into the story of the two of their friends who were also killed. One of them was killed. The other one was actually set free.
But in the beginning, we find out the both of them were set free, and they left the country. So, that's what he's told.
That's what he's told.
Yeah.
That they had escaped and left the country, but that's not what happened.
Yeah.
The two friends are what is one named Andrew?
Sure.
I don't remember. But the other one is Frank Tarugi, who again was another American journalist who was, ends up murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also a TV actor. That's Joe Regalbuto, who was Frank Fontana on Murphy Brown. So, you know, I mean, it is kind of funny because Murphy Brown comes out like towards the end of this decade. So it's just kind of like, oh, you got to play a journalist, but this time you live.
Yeah.
So... but no, we go into like kind of like them being captured and tortured, and eventually
those two other guys,
the two other guys, the other two journalists. Yeah. What I like about this film, though, is like you just get that sense of people not being entirely sure when they should flee the country, if they should flee the country. Is this not their home now? You're an American and you're speaking English all the time. How connected are you to the country or not? And does it matter? Now that, this is not going to be the country you thought it was, is it time to get out? And has the window closed? Well, yeah, the window is definitely closed. To me, the most interesting thing in this movie is all of the people who haven't left yet. And, like, why haven't they left? Now, you have that one reporter, she's, like, I guess from the New York Times. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't surprise me that she hasn't died, but also nothing bad has really happened to her either. Mm-hmm. And I don't think the CIA is going to let her die. That's the thing we have to keep thinking about. Like, all the people who haven't left yet, they all have to be connected somehow to the CIA, right? Mm-hmm. Or at least are known to the CIA, and they realize, oh, nothing really bad is going to happen to me. If you are not part of that clique, if you do not have those connections, you are fair game, and you're probably there as a communist anyway, so the United States is perfectly happy to see you be killed. So, I mean, the film doesn't have to spell that out in words exactly, which is kind of nice. Mm-hmm. They just, you can infer that from, hey, wait a minute, how come these people aren't panicking and fleeing? They know they're not going to be killed.
But then Beth and Ed are there to find Charlie.
Yeah.
The first half of the movie is a search. As soon as Jack Lemmon shows up, you're like, oh, he's going to solve it. We have an established actor. What's clever about the movie is that the movie kind of gives you crumbs of hope in the beginning, and then they keep fading. And I think like like once you find out the other guy was killed, even though we were told he was alive.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we don't know what's going on.
I mean, I already knew the guy was dead
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because
yeah.
I knew about the movie. But no, I think if you don't know the story yet, yeah.
Just the way the movie is set up, it really throws everything up in the air. You have no idea what's going. Like you have no idea who's safe and who's not safe. By the end of the movie, you're just not like, maybe they'll all get killed. Who knows? But
A couple things I found interesting about what this shows as being part of the chaos of the coup, and one thing I don't know if it's true or not, and I would love to find out more, is they keep sexually harassing women.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of grabbing women off the street and, searching them and, sexually assaulting them in various ways. And at one point they have a line about, from now on women have to wear dresses.
yeah, and a woman's wearing jeans, and they use a knife to like cut up the jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't doubt that that's true. I find that fascinating, though. Part of any reactionary movement is the restriction of freedom for women, and this idea that women have overstepped their boundaries. Your entire purpose is to be a wife and mother, and you are supposed to dress that way, and you're supposed to act that way at all times. You're not supposed to have a job. You're not supposed to be wearing pants. You're not supposed to be out by yourself in public. And if you are fair game.
You shouldn't have podcasts.
You should no, absolutely not. So, and look, it's interesting that, this is happening here. You think about Iran and their prescriptions on women's freedom, not to jump immediately to an Islamic country, but because it, again, is the 1970s, and that's interesting to me, right? You have that. But then you also have the rise of, the far right in the United States and their ideas on trad wives, and like that's not a new thing. You can go back to the 1980s that put, and Ronald Reagan and the moral majority, and those are the people who in the wake of Phyllis Schlafly getting the, Equal Rights Amendment killed. These are all the same people in a way, right? There isn't really a difference, when it comes to the rights of women and our freedom between, Pinochet and Ronald Reagan, as far as I'm concerned, or Ayatollah Khomeini. They're all the same guy, and it doesn't really matter. But it is interesting to see that in here. And I don't know if it's true, but I believe it, and it's something to kind of keep in mind, and the way that you have all these idiots in our government right now. They got rid of Roe v. Wade, but there's a lot of stuff that they're trying to, well, like I said, trad wives and the rest of it.
Yeah.
I don't need to keep going on about that. I'm sorry. A couple things I found interesting is, again, there's that whole we're trying to be normal thing happening in this film, so that there's a scene where people are at a restaurant and you have like a string quartet playing Mozart. Meanwhile there's like a helicopter with their searchlights down and guns going off in the street. What it reminded me is Brazil. The movie Brazil, yeah.
But there's also Chuck Berry playing My Ding-a-Ling.
Right, yeah. There's like some party going on, and they're playing, My Ding-a-Ling, which is obviously, objectively, the worst song. I mean, possibly certainly the worst song he ever wrote. Maybe the worst rock song ever written.
Yeah. I do really like that one helicopter scene where they're having a party on this upstairs, and you see this helicopter, and it has a light down, you hear gunshots, but they never pan down to show what everyone is looking at. You just see everyone looking out the window.
Yeah.
Like that was...
It's great. You don't really need to see what actually is happening. Your mind can fill it in.
Yeah, I gotta say, the use of gunfire in this movie, it's almost as much as they use in All Quiet on the Western Front, the 1930.
Really?
If you've ever seen that movie, one thing like you'll remember is that it's gunfire the entire time. It's just like just nonstop. And in this movie, like it's just every scene is punctuated by gunfire somewhere. And it's kind of interesting, like when Jack Lemmon gets there, like he keeps startling whenever it happens, and everyone else is just so used to it by then they don't even look up. But
yeah, that does kind of tell you something, doesn't it?
It takes a while to ignore people getting shot to death. I guess.
Hopefully we'll never find out, but you know what? Actually, that reminds me of. So we went to the Christmas market, in a couple years ago at this point.
Yep.
And while we're at this is in Philadelphia, we're at the Christmas market, and we're not far from the skating rink. We're like basically across the street from the skating rink. And all of a sudden we heard gunfire. And it was one of those things where we all kind of look at each other like, was that gunfire? And then you kind of realize, oh, that's right. That is actually gunfire. And people, you kind of like, I think we're going to move to another block instead. And
it was some kids firing at other kids.
Yeah, and like a kid died, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so like no, this was actual. People were being shot. One kid was, and they had to shut down the skating rink for the night. But I gotta be honest, we didn't leave the Christmas market. We kind of just kept shopping.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, you're like, well, they're not shooting me.
I know.
I mean, it's horrible, and we need to, get rid of all of the guns in the country, and et cetera, so on and so forth. But, well, they got the guy. I know, that's terrible. But, to a certain extent, yeah, you do kind of get used to guns going off after a while. I mean, oh, that's terrible. Actually, the worst part of that was that the helicopter from the news, the Channel 6 wouldn't go away. They just kept spinning over the scene for 2 hours. We're still at the site of the shooting. And I'm like, dude, that thing happened. It took 30 seconds and it's over.
Yeah. And then we were talking with one of the guys at the booth. And he's like, I wish I'd get that copter out of here.
Right, because that's horrible, but that is America. USA! 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 Yeah. Speaking of the USA, so we find out why Charlie was killed. He knew that the United States was behind the coup.
Yeah.
That this was not like a spontaneous, the military just rising up against this evil communist, we never say his name, Allende, but essentially that's, no, the United States, the CIA particularly was, basically making this happen, giving all sorts of material support, and we're kind of helping plot the whole thing. And because he knew of this, and I he had different evidence, and he was putting together who these, why is there this so-called naval engineer here, and why are all these odd people here? Obviously, this is a CIA thing going on,
and he's hanging out with them.
Yeah.
He probably could have had an in with them if he played ball.
Right.
Know?
Yeah, exactly.
If he'd stayed and played ping pong at that guy's house, he'd probably be fine,
Yeah. But because he obviously doesn't approve of this and isn't going to play ball, he's put on the list. Mm-hmm. So that's eventually, kind of figured out.
But the way they just talk to him because he's an American, it reminds me of that scene in what's the Big Short, where the bros are bragging about all these terrible deals they're making and stuff, and
yes,
Steve Carell's like, why are they admitting these crimes to us? And they're bragging.
Ultimately, it all comes to naught, unfortunately, for Ed, for the Jack Lemmon character. They start off just looking for Charlie. Eventually, they're just well, let's try to find his body at least. So they go to the open air prisons of what had been the stadium, right? And they go to they go to morgues. They're going through bodies, and that's how they find the buddy,
the other
the other reporter,
yeah,
and. They just never find him. Eventually they find a body, and they think it's him. And the government says, "Okay, we can ship it home to you. It's gonna be $900." Just as to add insult to injury. It's a real.
Well, at least they're nice in that they don't have to pay the $900 up front.
Oh, God. And that's kind of the film is, really it's more about just watching Jack Lemmon react to what's happening and seeing I don't think he ever has a change of heart in terms of his politics per se, insofar as I don't think he ever stops being conservative. But it's definitely you can't trust this government. The United States government does not have you in your best interests at heart. It has its own interests. It does not see itself as part, you are not part of it. You are not who it's really serving.
But he also at least starts to understand his kid a bit more and where, what they were seeing.
Yeah. And it's, the tragedy of it is that it took this for him to start to understand his son and his son's ideals.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to watch, a political thriller.
What was this on?
Apple. I had to rent it. You know, it's not streaming like for free. Nothing's for free, guys. I mean, come on. But it's not like sitting on HBO Max or anything right now. You'd have to go to Apple and pay $4. But it's worth it. I think it's a really good film. You know, and yeah, if you feel like getting a little angry. And you want to watch Jack Lemmon do a really good acting job, yeah, I'd go for it. I think that's got the Palme d'Or or something, or some sort of award at Cannes, didn't it? And it got Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, for something that as an adapted screenplay of a true story, it never. I don't know. It never felt, you know, like a boring by the book documentary sort of. You know, this is the true story of blah, blah, blah. Even though they start off with, this is the true story of, you know, this guy Charlie who got abducted and killed. I don't know. It's really all about Jack Lemmon and Sissy Spacek and their acting. And they do an amazing job.
Yeah, we didn't really mention Sissy Spacek. She's great. In the beginning of the movie, like, she's completely at odds with Ed in that she's always, you know, like, she's not cooperating with, you know, the consulate and he's like, why don't we give them the names of his friends and stuff, and she's like, they're gonna get pulled over. They're gonna get shot.
So that was Missing, starring Jack Lemmon, Sissy Spacek, John Shea, Melanie Mayron, David Clennon, Jerry Hardin, Joe Regalbuto, and Keith Zarbakia. Written by Costa-Gavras, Donald E. Stewart, and Thomas Hauser from his book Missing, and directed by Costa-Gavras, who is a Greek director. I think this is like his first Hollywood film. Probably didn't do too many Hollywood films after this either. That's another thing. Like, I gotta say, it's pretty gutsy doing a movie like this in like, you know, the Reagan era.
Yeah.
I mean, not that, like, you know. Mostly because, like, you know, I brought up paranoid thrillers before, but those are usually all fiction, and this is basically saying, oh, by the way, the CIA had this guy killed and are behind the, you know, coup in Chile, and we've got a big Hollywood star, you know, in our movie. Yeah, not bad. All right, you of course can follow us on social media. We're Mary vs. Movies on all of your major platforms. We're on Instagram and TikTok, although we haven't done a Reggie video for a little while. We got to get back to that. And whatever. We have a Facebook page. We have a website, maryvsmovies.com, where you can probably get all of our socials and all the rest of that. Let's see. We are on all of your major platforms where you can rate and review the show. We are on Apple Podcasts where you can rate and review us. And, you know, that would be nice if you did. We're on Spotify. I know. We're on YouTube. Look, Google's evil too. Look, I've done this before. They're all bad. The point is, you can also get our RSS feed and plug it into whatever your podcatcher of choice is. We, of course, have a Patreon where you can help support the show. For $3 a month, you can help pay for things like, our Zoom account. That's how we get to do interviews and rent movies and, pay for the server costs because it does cost money to host this show. We do not have ads. We're not part of a network. We're just, doing it ourselves. We have other shows that we're friends with, like People Are the Enemy, and whatever Josh is up to, or, Zach and Tavy's Marvelous Adventures and all the rest of that stuff. But, they're not on networks either. We're all just little indie podcasts doing it on our own. So if you want to help, support our show in particular, $3 a month, patreon.com/MaryVSMovies, at which point, of course, you get access to our second show, Hollywood Avalon, where we watch Arthurian movies. And, that is a pretty broad grouping of things. It's everything from like something like the TV show Merlin with all the the teeny bopper Arthurian stuff, to the movie Star Wars. I know that sounds crazy, but listen to the episode and you'll believe me. We did 28 years later. That's right. It's like about post-Roman Britain and stuff.
We still have to see the next one.
I can't wait to see the Bone Temple. That's gonna rock. I hear it's really good. But yes, if you want to hear us talk about, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, if you want to hear us talk about The Kid Who Would Be King, if you want to hear us talk about Knight Riders, if you want to hear us talk about Knights of the Round Table from 1953, sign up for the show, patreon.com/MaryVSMovies. All right. I said we need to do a comedy or something. We got to get out of this, grim thing before I make us sit and watch Romero, which I am thinking of doing at some point, or The Killing Fields or whatever. So we're going to flip between two movies, all right?
Where is the flipper?
The flipper's in our bedroom.
I'm going to go get it.
No, well, I don't know where in the bedroom it is.
We'll pause it.
Oh. All right. You've got your little coin catcher.
Yeah. What am I flipping for?
Okay, there's two movies. So it snowed this weekend.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. So I've got two movies that probably have nothing whatsoever to do with actual snow, but their titles made me think of
Cool Runnings?
You know what? I'm saving Cool Runnings for when we do the Olympics.
Okay.
Because the Winter Olympics are coming up.
Yeah.
No, the two movies are Chilly Scenes of Winter, supposedly a comedy. I don't know. Fingers crossed. And
Is that C-H-I-L-I?
no, Chilly.
Okay.
Like
checking.
Like Chilly Willy, all right? So it's Chilly Scenes of Winter.
All right.
Or The Man from Snowy River, which is like a Western.
All right.
Look, it's got the word snow in it. That's
We are leaving South America.
yeah, thank God. I wish I could say that about the United States in general, but there we go.
I guess they have snow down there too.
Yes. Now, come on, flip your coin, boy.
All right. What is what? Heads.
Heads is Chilly Scenes of No, wait. Heads is The Man from Snowy River because men have heads, and Chilly Scenes of Winter for the back. Because tails have. What do we got here?
Tails.
Tails. It'll be Chilly Scenes of Winter.
All right.
Sounds good. All right, and until next time.
I just thank God we live in a country where we can still put people like you in jail.